Sean O'Malley's head coach and friend Tim Welch gave some of the most embarrassing, horrendous corner advice at UFC Noche, and we're going to go through it round by round and react, because this corner advice was absolutely horrendous, period, but it was particularly horrendous for a UFC championship level fight. And it reminded me of Pat Barry in the corner of Rose Namajunas. It really gave me flashbacks of Edmund Tarverdyan, who is Ronda Rousey's coach, or who was Ronda Rousey's coach, who was a horrendous coach. And I feel like Tim Welch, I'm not ready to write him off completely yet, but it seems like he's going to ruin Sean O'Malley's career. Like in a couple years from now, we're going to be like, oh, it's time for Sean O'Malley to move on. And, he's going to be on a losing streak, and he's still kind of young, and the UFC kind of wants to push him, but, it's time for him to change camps. He's lost a couple fights. And listening to this corner advice was one thing, but then also they dropped a video. Sean O'Malley dropped a video on his channel where he's reacting to the fight with Tim Welch and some of his buddies, and they are hyping him up and pretending like he won the fight and that he was robbed against Merab. He claims that he won rounds 1, 3, and 5, and there are some delusional clips we're going to take a look at from that video. And I actually discussed this in a video from yesterday where Tim Welch did an interview with ESPN and Brett Okamoto in his 480p, where he made a bunch of excuses. He was like, no excuses, but Sean O'Malley's back was blown out. No excuses, but Merab was kissing my bull on the neck. No excuses, but he has to have surgery, his hip and his back. And I made a video and I discussed those excuses. And I also discussed Sean O'Malley claiming that he won the fight. And a lot of people were like, Joey, he's trolling, he's trolling. The video he put out today that we're going to take a look at the end of this video proves to me he's not kidding around. He is delusional. And not only that, Tim Welch is co-signing it. And he's defending his corner advice, fourth heading into the fifth, the worst advice I've ever seen. And he's saying, yeah, I wasn't going to tell you you're down because I didn't think you were down. It is craziness. He's surrounded by yes men, and it's headed towards a career that's going to fall off a cliff. Mark my words, if it's not addressed. So let's start off with the corner advice. Now, I've went and recorded all this audio. These are still images from each round. I have the round marked down in the corner. There's going to be no movement. I don't want to get a copyright strike by the UFC, but this is the audio in between each round. If anybody else wants to go check out the full audio, I will link the unlisted video down in the description, the exact video I'm playing right now. Any other content creators want to use it, it will be linked down in the description. Let's start right away. By the way, each round, so it says round 1, this is after round 1. Round 2, it's after round 2, if that makes sense. Let's jump right into it and listen to what Tim Welch, the greatest coach ever in the history of the sport. I'm just exaggerating a bit here. Let's hear what he has to say after Sean O'Malley loses round 1. By the way, we'll recap each round. We'll recap round 1, round 3, and round 5 later in the video when we discuss Sean O'Malley claiming robbery. But let's listen to what he has to say after round 1, which live and on rewatch, I scored for Merab Dvalishvili.
Here we go, brother. You can sit down, Shook. Beautiful. Let's just breathe here for a second. Breathe here for a second. Breathe here for a second.
So basically, just breathe. Just breathe, O'Malley. Just breathe. Now, I don't want to be too harsh on this corner advice, because at the end of the day, this is just after round 1, and it's not like he got absolutely destroyed in round 1, but he clearly lost round 1, in my opinion. And again, we'll rehash that in a little bit, but he gives a little bit more.
Breathe here for a second. Just bring yourself right back. That was a beautiful round. Beautiful round.
Beautiful round. Beautiful round, Shug. By the way, if you don't remember the corner advice, it's going to be worse than you think, because the entire corner advice is basically, you're the champ, Shug. You're the champ. You're the champ. We're almost done with this, Shug. You're going to get through it. I mean, horrible corner advice. But let's continue listening to round 1.
Hey, let's keep bringing those twos to the body and just not get lazy. You're just getting a little bit lazy. Keep your balance, make some space. You can still snipe him. Yeah, bring yourself.
So basically, you can still snipe him, breathe, and don't get lazy. I'm not going to be too harsh on that corner advice because, again, it's just one round in the books. It's not like he got destroyed in round 1. It's not like, it's just one round of a fight. But let's listen to what he has to say after round 2 when he got really dominated in round 2. Let's listen to the corner advice after round 2.
Self right back in the stool right here, following the breath. All you're following the breath. Hey, this is what this brutal training camp's for. Your legs are in shape and ready for this, okay?
So just convincing him that he's in shape. That's what that brutal training camp's for. Your legs are in shape. You're getting taken down and ground and pound repeatedly. You're not being active enough to win rounds. You're not throwing enough shots. You're throwing like, you know, what he throw, like 30 significant strikes over the course of 5 rounds. And he's like, yeah, you know, you trained for this. You're in shape, Shug. You're the champ, Shug. I think that's what he says in a second.
Breathe and relax. Hey, don't try to knock him out.
Oh,
We don't need
so
to
he's
knock
kissing
him out.
his
Just
back.
keep your distance.
I hope you guys heard that because Rogan started talking over it, but I'm going to rewind it a little bit. Don't try to knock him out. We don't need to knock him out. That's craziness.
Hey, don't try to knock him out.
Oh,
We don't need
so
to
he's
knock
kissing
him out.
his
Just
back.
keep your distance.
This
Keep your
is
distance. You're overshooting.
And then he let him go.
We don't need to knock him out. Keep your distance. Now, Rogan in the background's talking about the kisses on the neck.
When he's shooting,
Yeah, round
underneath
wasn't
him.
over.
So a little bit more of the Louis boxing step and the Pacquiao step instead. Yep. Another big breath. Here we go. It's perfect.
Wise
Yep, you don't need to overshoot
get
it.
up and
Your
strike
range,
and
your
fight till
range,
the end of
bud.
the round.
Hey, let's dig deep. You're the champ. You're the champ. Show us.
Right.
You're the champ. You're the champ. Show us. That's advice after round 2. You're the champ. You're the champ, Shug. Show us. That's the best you got. Be more active. You know, feint the knee. Feint the uppercut. You know, pressure him a little bit more. Because he's mainly shooting off of his pressure. And I'm not claiming to be some MMA coach. I'm clearly not. But this is the corner advice. You're the champ. You're just shouting at him. You're the champ. I think at one point, I think it might be after the round 3. He's like, you're a warrior, Sean. You're a warrior, Sean. And then watching them watch it back, the contrast between this corner advice and then watching them watch it back together the entire fight is mind-blowing. It's horrendous. I mean, he should be fired today.
So let's shot. We plant 1-2. Don't overshoot it. Shoot it right to his neck.
So don't overshoot it. That's some advice that he's given. Okay? Don't overshoot it. I mean, he's not throwing anything, but don't overshoot it.
Right to his neck. Another big breath. Another big breath. We can find him here. We can find him here. 10 minutes focused. You're the champion. You're warmed up.
You're the champion. You're warmed up. I mean, is this not Pat Barry level advice? Is this not Edmund Tarverdyan's level of advice? Literally, all he's saying is you're the champion. Oh, you've been through training camp. Your legs are in shape. Your hair looks good. Tattoos are looking tight. I mean, those shorts look amazing on you, Sean. That's a nice tight ass on you, Sean. This is horrific. This is some of the worst corner advice. And in this instance, you have a fighter who's down 3 rounds in one of the biggest moments of their career. And you're not telling him, let's get more active. He's taking you down, but he's not doing a lot of damage, okay? It's not like he's beating you to a bloody pulp. Go out there and try to put some damage on him before he takes you down, and then maybe you could steal around that way. You never know with these judges. Look, we won against Piotr Jan, even though we lost every single round. Let's try to do some damage here, Sean. Let's not just hang on the back foot and stay at range and not throw anything. Let's actually try to fight, okay? But instead, you're a warrior, Sean.
After the failed shots, we're stepping in, shooting it to his neck. Let's go, baby. You're the champion. You're the champion, Shug. You're the sniper.
Nice job, in my opinion, by Tim Welch to try to center his guy and keep the instructions simple.
And then John Anik's hyping up the corner. Yeah, great job from Tim Welch. Great corner advice, keeping it simple. Yeah, if all we have to do is get in there and say, you're a warrior. And look, with all due respect, any man that's saying, Shug, any man that's calling another man Shug, I think you're a pussy, okay? And again, that's no disrespect. That's no disrespect. Like Tim Welch said, when he makes a bunch of excuses, then he says, no excuses, though. It means there's no excuses there. So if I say he's a pussy, if I say he's a bitch, if I say this, corner advice is horrendous, and we haven't even got to the worst part yet, we're about to listen to that, but I say no disrespect, there's no disrespect to be had here. This is the worst advice I've ever seen. Look at Sean O'Malley here. Look how dejected he is. Look how defeated he is. He needs something here. He needs to hear, listen, Sean, you're down. You're going to lose your belt. He's shooting in. You can catch him. You're accurate. You have power. Go out there and knock him out. Instead, he basically tells him to stall. And then he says, you're almost done with this. You're almost through with this. I don't remember the exact quote now. You're almost through with this, Sean. You're almost through with this, sugar. I mean, imagine calling another man sugar. Talk about embarrassment. This right here is the worst corner advice I've ever seen. Going into round 5 where your fighter has now lost 4 rounds straight. And this is the advice you give.
Just bring it. You're gonna have to dig deep. Dig deep, buddy. We're almost done with this. Dig deep.
You're almost done with this. How did I forget that? I even said it in the beginning of the video. You're almost done with this, sugar. This man right here is traumatized. Look at this. Look at this body language. This man is traumatized and wants to be anywhere but there. He wants to be anywhere but UFC Noche. And you have this ginger over here saying, you're almost through with this. You're going to get home soon, buddy. Merab's going to take the title, but we don't care. You're almost through with this. You're going to be all right, buddy. We're going to take care of you after this. We're going to go party. We're going to smoke some weed after this. And maybe we'll vape a little bit. And we'll definitely get drunk. And maybe I'll kiss your neck like Merab did in the second round. I mean, this line right here, I got to be honest. And he talks about this in the video we're going to look at in a second. This line right here is enough to be fired immediately. Just fire him immediately.
Just bring it. You're gonna have to dig deep. Dig deep, buddy. We're almost done with this. Dig deep.
You're almost done with this. And now they're claiming he won. So dejected, so traumatized. And Tim Welch's corner advice is, you're almost done with this.
Big breath. Big breath. Big breath. Hey, I want you to we're gonna take our time with our feet, and I want you to load up on a punch and bring your knee right behind it.
Well, at least there's something. Throw a knee. Throw a punch and then throw a knee. Damn, what a mastermind of MMA. What a mastermind. Throw a punch and throw a knee. You're down 4 rounds. But he actually tells him to stall a little bit, I think, here as well.
Almost load up on it and bring your knee right behind it. Okay, take a breath. Take a breath. Take the first couple minutes to dance on him and keep shooting him to his chest.
Take the first couple minutes to dance on him. And meanwhile, that's Sean O'Malley almost in every fight where he's fighting a grappler, is to circle and use the range, which I don't blame him. But then there's people complaining about Merab in the 5th round, up 4 rounds, circling. But here he is. He's saying, you're exhausted. We're almost through with this, but let's waste a couple minutes, circling around the cage. And, he wasn't throwing at all. He should have told him be more active. You got to get a KO here. We need some urgency. We need some urgency, Shug. We need some urgency, Sugar. Get out there and KO him like we promised. Horrible corner advice, but we're almost done with it.
Keep shooting the 2s to his chest. When the time writes, big shot, knee right behind it. Just breathe, breathe, breathe. 5 minutes. We got to dig deep here. You're a fucking warrior. Let's go. Up on your feet. Let's go. 5 minutes, bud. 5 minutes. Let's find the knee up the middle.
So basically, that's it. The entire corner advice was breathe. You had a good training camp. Look for the knee. And you're a warrior, and you're the champ, Sugar. And we're almost done with this. You're traumatized. We're almost done with this. Don't quit yet. Don't quit on me yet. Horrible, horrendous, embarrassing, humiliating corner advice, worthy of being fired on the spot. I mean, this is worse than Leon Edwards' coach saying, you want me to stop the fight? At least he could have gave him the Leon Edwards, coaching. Don't let him bully you, son. And then maybe O'Malley. Imagine O'Malley would have got a 5th round KO. That would have been the craziest thing. I mean, that would have propelled his star power into unimaginable heights. I can't even fathom where that would be right now. But instead, he's like, yeah, just stall out for a couple minutes and look for a knee. You're down 4-0. Stall out for a little bit. But now he claims that he didn't even think Sean O'Malley was down. Because you go to this video, and I will link this video down in the description. And again, I will link this unlisted video of the corner audio down in the description if anyone wants to check it out in its entirety. Anybody else wants to use it. But then we have this video that Sean O'Malley uploaded. And I highly encourage you to go check out the video I made yesterday because Tim was making a bunch of excuses talking to Brett Okamoto. But I said that Sean O'Malley was serious when he was claiming on Twitter that he won the fight. This video right here is why he believes he won the fight, because he's surrounded by a bunch of yes men who were leeching off of him, in my opinion. And they're telling him, yeah, Shug, you won, Shug. Look at Merab bleeding a little bit. You won, Shug. You did so much damage, Shug. This video here, there's no way this is trolling. There's no way all 4 of these guys are trolling. And they're hyping O'Malley up. Yeah, you won, Sean, Sugar Sean. Because every single one of these guys, I don't know them personally, their entire identities, I can already tell just from one video, their entire identities are wrapped up with being some way related to a famous person in Sean O'Malley. This is delusional. I'm not even going to give that much information about what they say in each clip because it's just so bad. It's just listen.
People are saying like they could have gave me this. I mean, God, unless the ground and pound is that fucking bad, it could be.
He's talking about the first round here, by the way.
But still, the first 3 minutes of that round.
All him.
3 minutes,
all
over
shot.
half of that round.
Yeah, landing all the shots, damaging shots too.
Bro, this.
They're acting like Sean won the first round. Yeah, he's landing all the damaging shots. He lost round 1 pretty clear. I'll go through it in a second.
First round, I mean, there's a minute and a half left.
It didn't start till
I won this
45.
shit. But it still hasn't really hit me with anything, right? Like,
That's where you get past. That was fucked in.
is that why they gave him the round? See, this wasn't tight at all. No, I literally won that round. That wasn't.
He's watching back round 1. And he's saying, I literally won that round. Tim's telling him he won that round. These two goofballs in the background who were just, I guess, obsessed with being attached to a celebrity are like, man, you were beating him. You landed all those damaging shots when you basically landed a couple shots to the body. I mean, it gets worse. It gets worse, too.
Wasn't even that controversial.
That's why I didn't want to go in there and say you're down by 4 because I'm like, I didn't think he is.
I didn't want to go in there and tell you you're down by 4 because I didn't think you were. Horrible coaching. And how do you get any better if you just claim you won and not actually try to improve?
Okay, so they're counting those.
Yeah, they do. Still doing shit. Oh, it's so frustrating.
Listen, I don't use stats because the stats are usually wrong. But I would love to know the numbers for Sean O'Malley. I think he threw like under 40 shots, significant shots for the entire fight. And they're sitting here saying, yeah, Merab didn't really do much. And they're complaining, oh, these shots count. These ground and pound shots count on the ground. Yeah, they count. Especially when you do almost nothing. You do jack shit. It's craziness. Craziness.
And then Herb step in. Hey.
And then here they're talking about the second round here, which is indisputable Merab. I mean, the first 4 rounds are basically indisputable for Merab. But this is where, and I may make another video on Herb. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I've been talking about it. But I've talked about it in the Tim Welch video. These guys are dirty as hell. First off, Sean O'Malley's a notorious cheater. And they so desperately, and this is crazy to me, they wanted O'Malley to brutally KO Merab in this weird exchange where Merab had his back turned because Herb Dean told him to stop. And they're pissed that Herb Dean kind of interjected himself to stop O'Malley from basically cheap shotting him, okay?
Stopping it.
Aljo was about to get out of the cage.
He was. I didn't see that.
Oh, he was flared up. All right, round 3. I have it 1-1 going into the third. No bias.
1-1 going into the third round. And I'm going to go through it round by round of what I think happened each round. But let's skip ahead a little bit. I don't want to watch too much of this. I'm just going to show you the most delusional parts. I will link this full video down in the description. I encourage you guys to go check it out. It's full of delusion.
Ooh,
That was clean.
fuck, dude. Hold on a second, Shane.
Bink, another one. Smash. Oh, that could have been the end, bro.
Sean O'Malley literally put on one of the shittiest performances of his entire career. And instead of trying to go in and let's correct some of these issues, let's work on the grappling. You know, your back's blown out. You need surgery. We've been making excuses for you left and right. They're sitting around watching the most failed performance on the biggest stage. And they're saying, man, you were clipping him. You were clipping him. You were rocking him there. You were stinging him there. They're hyping him up. And then they're also saying you won. I mean, this is crazy.
If he took a bad shot there, that's the end of the match. Where he almost walked him into that. Like, ooh, his life flashed before his eyes right there.
Yeah, his life really flashed before his eyes when you throw like 3 strikes per round. Absolutely embarrassing. Let's skip ahead a little bit. This is where Tim talks about the corner advice, which it seems like he kind of owns it here. And he says, oh, well, you know, I kind of, misspoke, but that's not what he did. He could tell Sean O'Malley was ready to quit. He's ready to throw in the towel. And he was trying to encourage him, look, don't get finished. We got 5 minutes left. And fair enough, Sean O'Malley won the 5th round, in my opinion. I think you can make a debate for Merab winning the 5th round, but here's him talking about the horrendous corner advice.
Lazy.
I didn't realize he was bleeding so bad here.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was bleeding so bad here. Like, shut up.
This motherfucker's holding on for dear life, too, you know? Like, he knows.
Keep in mind, this guy was not fighting. He was not fighting. He wasn't throwing. He was timid on the feet. Because he was worried about Merab ragdolling him, dumping him on his bald spot, blowing out his back like he did. And he's saying, yeah, Merab's running for his life. Dude, you ran for your life in the first 4 rounds.
Those numbers are crazy.
Now they're talking about the stats. I'm assuming these are O'Malley's. Now, again, I don't believe these stats 100%, but just to give you a general idea, they're pissed. They're like, yeah, there's no way these are true. You weren't throwing anything, you dumbass. Maybe if your corner was coaching you instead of Merab, maybe you would actually threw some shots.
They'll count this.
I know.
This is what I was getting.
Oh, so we don't count knees to the thighs, but we count you doing nothing but standing on the outside and trying to avoid the fight. Okay.
Shit for. And I meant saying we're almost done with this. Like, hey, this fight's almost over. That's why we get a lot of shit for.
Here he is. He's talking the corner advice, and he knows it was horrible advice. He knows. And again, this is just a yes man. Now he's telling Sean he won the fight.
This is what I was getting shit for. And I meant saying we're almost done with this. Like, hey, this fight's almost over. That's why we get a lot of shit for saying that.
No, they want you to say, pull your shit out of the fire.
Yeah, I just copied it.
Had Sean knocked him out, Tim, they wouldn't even be talking about it.
Yeah, we would. It would have been a horrible advice. It would have been horrible advice.
I know the haters are just gonna comment what they want, but if someone rewatches this with judging in mind, this is a fucking close fight. 2-2 going in the fifth.
Craziness. You know what this reminds me of? I used to play a lot of Madden back in the day, and like you would beat someone who's like really horrible at taking losses, and they'd be like, "Man, I didn't pick my favorite team. It's only because you got, or they would say it's only because you got this team." I mean, this guy, I'm being dead serious, and I need you guys to let me know. He genuinely believes this. He thinks that he won. Tim thinks that he won. This weirdo in the background thinks he won. This weirdo in the background thinks he won. He's like, yeah, it's 2-2 heading into the fifth.
Dude, I want to know if... Oh!
And then they're hyping up more highlights, and then we're going to check out one more clip. If you don't believe he thinks he won right now, listen to this.
Machine. I don't know how a judge gave him that fifth either.
Because the narrative around this...
By the way, I did a judge give Merab the fifth round? I don't think so. I think one judge gave first 4 rounds for Merab, 5th round for O'Malley. 2 judges gave 3 and 5 to O'Malley. So I don't think any judge gave round 5 to Merab, unless I'm mistaken somehow. But I don't think I am.
This fucking fight was I got my ass whooped.
And that's what happened. You did get your ass whooped and you didn't fight. You look like a timid little bitch. No disrespect, though. No disrespect. No insults. You look like a timid little bitch. And by the way, I know people are going to be down in the comments because it used to be, oh, you're O'Malley's biggest hater. Then you're O'Malley's biggest fanboy. Now I'm back to being O'Malley's biggest hater. No, I just speak my mind. This is embarrassing. This is humiliating. And the fact that his coach is co-signing it makes it even worse.
I'm gonna ask the UFC if they will please post that fight on YouTube. I won the 1st, 3rd, and 5th round. And I challenge all you fucking little dorks that think that I got my ass kicked.
We're going to go through it in a second. I rewatched rounds 1, 3, and 5.
To go and rewatch that fight. I know it's hard, non-biased, to rewatch it, whether you fucking hate me or love me. Rewatch that fight, turn the commentary off, and tell me I did not win that fight. I won the...
So I rewatched rounds 1, 3, and 5. You did not win that fight. You did not win that fight in any, realm at all. Delusional, completely delusional.
1st, 3rd, and 5th. Oh, I'm fucking fired up right now. Oh! I'm the champ. I won. I'm the champ. Where's my belt? Get my belt out that suitcase. Get that belt out my suitcase. I'm the champ, baby. I'm the champ, baby. Go rewatch that fight. Go rewatch that fight. I'm the champ, baby. I'm a bitch still. Had to run around holding his fucking little gut.
Think about how stupid that is. I mean, I don't expect anything more of a guy with a bunch of face tattoos. This is crazy. They genuinely believe. They sat there. Tim and Sean sat there and said, man, you had this, Sugar. Sugar, you had this. I heard allegedly through the grapevine that Tim blew him afterwards. Right after they watched this fight, and they said, man, you won, Sugar. Let me give you a little treat. Let me give you a little treat, Sugar. That's what I heard allegedly. Okay, I heard through the grapevine. Now, if you go through it round by round, I'm only going to go through it really quickly because it really doesn't even dignify a response. I think it is completely ridiculous that round 3 was ever scored for O'Malley. Round 5, I think you could score for Merab, but I gave it to O'Malley. Merab did some with the grappling, landed some shots, but the most damaging shot was the teep kick where Merab really reacted. And so I lean Sean O'Malley. If you want to say you scored it for Merab because Merab won the majority of the round, I kind of am sympathetic to that argument. But I would give it to O'Malley personally because he did hurt him with that teep kick. But Merab was fine. Like 20 seconds later, ate another teep kick and just smiled at him. Now, so 5th round, I say O'Malley won. Fair enough. 4th round, there's no debate. Merab won. He absolutely dominated. 2nd round, there's no debate. Merab won. He dominated. 1st round, There wasn't a whole lot of damage done in the first round. Merab had multiple takedowns. He had a guillotine attempt. He landed some good shots up against the fence. There was one moment where O'Malley got up and Merab landed a left hand and then pointed at him. There was some knees to the thighs. And then Sean landed a couple jabs and I think it was one good left hand that didn't do a whole lot of damage either. And also landed a couple body punches. There was no doubt in my mind that Merab won that round. Even if you want to say it's equal damage, which I think Merab landed a bit more, you have to go to the next thing, which is effective grappling. Merab clearly effectively grappled more, almost mounted him with a guillotine. So undeniable Merab on the first round. Then you go to the third round. I think maybe that's a hair closer than the first round. But Merab had some control time early, and he landed like 2 or 3 knees to the head. He landed some punches on the feet. He landed like 3 or 4 leg kicks. They weren't super hard leg kicks. And then at the last like minute of the round, O'Malley landed 2 decent left hands. He landed a 1-2 where you really couldn't see if the jab landed. And then he landed like a grazing knee at the end. That was like, okay. And it was like a left hand followed by a grazing knee at the end. I think it's clear for Merab. So I think it's 4-1 Merab. I went back and rewatched it with no commentary like O'Malley suggested. And I really don't think there's any realm where you score this for O'Malley. And if you are, you're just an O'Malley fanboy. You're biased. You don't like Merab. Merab won this fight. Merab dominated this fight. There wasn't a crazy amount of damage, okay? There wasn't, guys being, absolutely destroyed. But at the end of the day, Merab clearly did more damage. In the rounds where the damage was somewhat close, Merab had control time and some effective grappling. And, even if you don't like some of the pitter-patter ground and pound, you know what that's better than? It's better than absolutely nothing. Merab won this fight, and O'Malley really, truly took the path of Conor McGregor, where he acted humble for about 24 hours, and then he took it all back. So he got all that praise. Oh, what a great sport. He's taking it well. And then he wants to change it up and say, oh, well, I won. And the crazy thing is Tim Welch is co-signing this. He's co-signing this. And actually, let me go back to this real quick, because this is what Tim Welch is reminding me of, this guy right here. Head movement. Head movement. If you know, you know. This guy would hype up Ronda Rousey's boxing, and then his corner advice would be consistent of head movement. That's it. He acted like she could outbox Floyd Mayweather. Dana White and Joe Rogan co-signed it. I think Tim Welch, I don't want to write him off completely yet, but honestly, I do. I think it was horrendous corner advice. Now he's telling O'Malley he won. He's backing it up. How can you get better when you live in such a delusion? You know what I mean? You got brutally KO'd by Marlon Chito Vera. You acted like it was a fluke. You get the win back 4 years later and go claim that you're vindicated. You got a brutal robbery win over Piotr Jan that you didn't even deserve. And now I honestly believe they're going to angle, oh, we had surgery. It was a close fight. We want to walk right back into a title fight, because you guess what? Sean O'Malley can't earn his way back to a title, okay? He can't win a big fight. He's not beating Piotr Jan. He's not beating Corey Sandhagen. He's probably not even beating Henry Cejudo, which a week ago was crazy. I thought it would be an easy fight, but now I realize Sean was just massively overrated, and I bought into the hype a little bit. I was like, you know what? He beat Aljo. I got to give him his credit. And I think I fell into going to the opposite too much. Like, I wasn't giving him enough credit. He beats Aljo, even though he was set up for success there. And then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I was crazy. Maybe I was wrong. I accepted it. And then I was wrong again. So they don't want to earn their way back to a title shot. I'm telling you, this is not a troll job. He genuinely believes he won. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for watching.